One of the problems with recruiting for investment banking is not the knowledge or skills you acquire, but the access to talk with real investment bankers to put your best foot forward. Our sponsor, WSO Academy, can provide those connections with 60 head mentors who are finance professionals at top firms like Goldman, Centerview, and JP Morgan. Imagine being able to get on the phone within 24 hours with one of the Academy's 1,300 mentors right before a critical interview. Get on the waitlist for WSO Academy today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting wallstreetoasis.com/academy. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights. This is the only show dedicated to helping you learn both the technical and non-technical aspects of investment banking. My name is Alex Mason and I am your host, and I'm so grateful that you're joining me today to learn about these behaviors with me. We're going through some of the questions that you may receive related to your experience, your story, all of these qualitative things that don't have to do with the technical aspects of investment banking. And don't worry, we're going to get back to those technicals in time, but we're going through behaviorals right now. And today's question is this: what other banks are you considering? What other banks are you considering? You see, banks want to know where you're at in the interview process. They want to see how seriously you're taking this. And then for competitive reasons, they also want to know who they're competing with for talent, right? Wouldn't you want to know who your potential competitors are when you're trying to hire new bankers? Because if the competition is really weak, then you might just have your pick of all of the great candidates. But if your competition is really strong, then you may have to sweeten the deal or move a little more quickly to get an offer out there to a great candidate. So banks are trying to collect intel on you. Never forget this. Just like you're trying to collect intel on them when you're doing your research, when you're asking them questions in your interview and in your coffee chats, they're doing the exact same thing on the other end. So just be aware of it. It's kind of a two-way street there. When you're talking about answering this question, when the bank asks you, okay, so what other banks are you considering? Be honest here. That's what I would say. Be honest here, but also be thoughtful about how you answer. If you're interviewing at, say, a bulge bracket bank, maybe you say that you're considering other bulge brackets. If you're interviewing at a middle market firm, maybe you're considering other middle markets. So kind of try to match whatever area of expertise or maybe a region that bank is in with the competitors in that same area of expertise or same region. It would be really weird if you were interviewing at a middle market bank and you also said, yeah, I'm also considering Bank of America. Well, okay, those are two completely different business models, right? Like Bank of America is this huge national company. They're a bulge bracket. And then this middle market firm, maybe they're regional, maybe they're global too, actually, but they're focused on completely different transactions and completely different companies. So like, what are you really trying to get at here? Like, what do you really want your work style to be like? What do you want your team to be like? It kind of shows a lack of understanding of the different aspects of investment banking if you gave that kind of a response. So I would be more consistent with talking about more direct competitors to the bank who is actually asking you that question. That's a little bit of advice there. And another thing here is just don't brag. Don't pretend that every bank wants you to say, oh yeah, like I'm talking to every bank, all the prestigious ones. But on the flip side, I also wouldn't downplay yourself because you don't want to come off as desperate. You don't want to say, well, like, you guys are really it and I'm not really talking to anyone else. Like, that's kind of flashing a red flag, saying to the bank, oh, this candidate isn't really wanted by other banks. Maybe we don't want them either. Like, never forget about psychology here. Social proof is super powerful in so many different contexts, especially in an interview context. So don't downplay yourself, but don't overplay yourself either. But be honest, do your research, doing your research ahead of time, I think is going to be really helpful here. You can say, well, your bank is my number one option, but I've also really been impressed by such and such attributes of such and such other bank. But that being said, I really like your firm because of XYZ. You see what I did there? I acknowledged the question directly. I said, you're my number one, but I've also been impressed by these other banks for this reason, right? Being direct, being descriptive. But then I didn't end there. I wrapped it up by saying, that being said, I really like your firm because of such and such. I brought it back to them. I brought the focus back to them. So don't deflect, answer the question directly. But remember, you can always pivot your answer to remind them that their bank is top of mind for you, right? We're talking about them. We're reminding them that you want them, but we're also acknowledging that there are other banks out there that are competing for your talent and attention. Kind of an interesting question. I think it's a good one to think about, but I hope that was helpful for you. My name is Alex Mason. I'm your host, and you're listening to Investment Banking Insights. My friend, we're going through these, and we're just going to keep going through these behaviorals, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.